what have I wanted to do today on a Sunday? I was like, I don't want to talk business today. I want to share. We've mentioned it yesterday and asked for the video, the first video. This is the second video on the turbo cycler. There I talk a little more about the system, but the details on the system are going to be revealed in the upcoming week. And believe me, all the details, all of your questions, there isn't any questions that are not going to be answered. And actually, the program is not going to be difficult, but it's extremely powerful. It's extremely intelligent. It's making sure, here is who the program is for people who have never done an internet business. We'll help them make money immediately with that program. For people who have tried to do internet business and who have failed, they'll be able to make money. They'll be able to make their friends look with envy, and their family who may have criticized them for wasting money and time on the internet. You'll be able to turn it around where they go, oh, can I be part of what you're doing? It is for people who love valuable education, practical education. Actually, the education, we're going to talk about it in a second here, associated with the VIP Turbo Cycler, is the keys, the secrets, the science of how you can acquire all the money you ever want. The science of how to become rich, based on the works of Wallace Waddell, based on the works that inspired the movie The Secret. But we're not making a cute movie, we're making it very practical. We want to make sure that I'm plainly assuming every single person that is here wants to make money. We got the program is great for people who are very successful online, because guess what? I know if you've made, and I know this because I've done it, made a lot of money online, you also know that most of the people that followed you couldn't do it. With our program, that will not happen. Not one single member in your downline will end up not making money. As in VIP, as it stands for 2 years, there is not one single person who is not making money. Actually, all of them are beginning to make money as of day one. That's a promise I made when I designed the program. And it took me 15 years to put it together. So I'm a slow diesel engine. My mind is still tired from that skin deal, and sometimes I get an idea and then it fades. And I hope that's not a sign of getting old. It's simply the skin deal has been very exhausting mentally, emotionally, and physically. But I'm on the way. It's healing. It's getting better every day, and I'm almost out of the agonizing parts of it. So. Where are we at? We're talking, yes, what I want to do today is give you not just a sample of what the product will be associated with the VIP Turbo Cycler. No, it's not a Ponzi. No, it's not a gifting program. No, it's not an MLM. You're not going to have to buy vitamins or water cleaners or God knows whatever is every month with AutoShip. No, it's education. It fits within the scope of the VIP team, and it is the, let me increase this here, the science of getting rich. The science of getting rich was originally
through Wallace D. Waddell.
Yes, Wallace D. Waddell. He wrote it in 1910. Can you imagine that? Today, this book is more valuable than any of the economic universities. This book is more valuable than a PhD in business. I mean, or an MBA, a master's business. I want to give you a sample of it. So today I'm going to teach a class. I enjoy teaching. When I say teaching, I will show you how I learn. Because the ultimate teaching is you learning. You have to be the student. You have to be your own teacher. And So let's do a couple things here on the screen. We're gonna minimize this. We're gonna take out the picture. Dum. I don't need the desktop. Okay. I should maintain my camera. This picture is okay. We can reduce that too. Okay, we'll put the pictures here on the side. Beautiful music of Elke. And we'll reduce this as well. Okay, meanwhile, let's bring this one over here.
Written in 1910 and yet holding still some of the most practical advice and tip.
Okay, I wanted to. This is pretty weird how I need to grab. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep. Okay. We're gonna get there. You know, don't look at me as the ultimate multitasker genius, because I'm not. I leave the skill of multitasking to women. Women are so much better at it.
About how to build wealth, how to.
That's right. There we go. Now I want my camera to go above that. Yes. Okay, that works. Actually, I'll bring the. Whoops.
Attract money.
I'll get there. Be patient with me. See, if you can see, I can barely work a computer and I can still make millions on the internet. So if I can do it, you can do it.
To.
Let's switch off that one. Let's switch off that one. Good. Okay, that's pretty good format. There. All right, the science of getting rich. Let's see how you resonate with this. And I will do how I study myself, okay? So, I'm gonna let him talk a little bit and then I'll interrupt him. See, I'm talking to myself. Isn't that a beautiful profession?
Get rich, boiled down
okay, let's
to a science.
Go from the beginning.
Welcome to the Science of Getting Rich, a book written by Mr. Wallace D. Wattles. Written in 1910 and yet holding still some of the most practical advice and teachings about how to build wealth, how to attract money, how to get rich, boiled down to a science. This book is...
by the way, in case you're wondering if this is philosophical or theoretical or so on, no. If you, right now, is there anybody who could use some extra money, like an extra 10,000 or an extra 25,000 or an extra 100,000? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna check in the chat of this video if anybody would be interested in making I just want to quickly double confirm I'm talking to the right crowd. You can type it in the Skype group of the Turbo Cycler. Just type in a yes or type in an amount, whether it's $1 million, $10 million, whether it's $100,000, and I'm not kidding, okay? So there isn't any number that is too much if you truly desire it. So anyways, there is a bit of delay. I'll be seeing your yeses in a moment, but there is really no true secret. Okay, Rose indicates. Thank you, Rose. 25K is good right now. Okay, wonderful. Let's make that happen, okay? I want to be able to come back 3 months from now, maximum 6 months from now, that you say, you know what, Lieven, not only did I get the 25k, I actually surpassed it. I kind of by accident got 50k. You wouldn't mind, would you, if there happens to be a bit of extra cream on top? Okay, 100,000 a year at least. Excellent, good. $1 million for Boris. All right, why not $1 million? As a matter of fact, you know what we all need to do is specify what you're going to do with the money. That way you really know the reason why you want to get it. It's very important, yeah. Because some of the things you can get without even the money, if you define the desire. So Primos is putting something funny there. I'm not sure what that is in your language, but anyways, you're looking at an amount of money for sure. Okay, science of getting rich. Let's get back to the class, and thank you guys for Nadia and Sverre. So good to see you, and Harold. Go ahead, type in an amount. I wanna see it come to reality. Okay, and it's good. I mean, acquiring something begins with making a definition of what it is that you want. Okay, so if we don't define, there we go, 100,000 per year. That's specific. Can I make a suggestion, Nadia? I'm going to type it in there. At least, and we're going to use euros, 100,000. Always put the word at least in front of what it is that you want. At least 100,000 edit per year. Yeah, that way, if it is more, you can handle it, right? I mean, you wouldn't mind if it happens to be 150,000 or 200,000, right? I actually, in one occasion, I asked for $12 million, and I ended up with $200 million. You know, so it kind of, it does happen. So Oscar is saying $500,000 per year at least. Excellent, good. Okay, so the science of getting rich. What does that mean? The science of getting rich. That means the know-how of getting rich. This is a book that guarantees the result. I personally don't know a single person alive who has read that book, come to understand that book, who has applied what's in the book, and who has not gotten rich. Everybody does. Even the dumbest person on the block. Can you imagine that? Okay, so here we go. He says this book is pragmatical, not philosophical. It's practical, is what pragmatical means. Not philosophical. In other words, we're not going to talk about the universe, and we're not going to talk about, well, money is energy, etc., etc. It's a practical manual. It's like a menu, a cooking book. It's not a theory. Yeah, it's not philosophy or theory. It's intended for the men and the women whose most pressing need is for money. I hope your need is high. Okay? As Tony Robbins always says, do it as if your life depends on it. Do it as if your life depends on it. You know, that's often what we do. I had the misfortune of having my child kidnapped. And believe me, it's amazing what you can become capable of once that happens. Yeah. So it's, anyways, most pressing need is for money, who wish to get rich first and philosophize afterwards. Don't you love that? Let's first get the money and then we philosophize about it. Yeah? Is that, would you feel that that is a good approach?
It's pragmatical, not philosophical. It's a practical manual, not a treatise upon theories. It is intended for the men and women whose most pressing need is for money, who wish to get rich first and philosophize afterwards. It is for those who have so far found neither the time nor the means nor the opportunity to go deeply into the study of metaphysics, but who want results and who are willing to take the conclusions of science as the basis for action, without going into all the processes by which these conclusions were
reached. Okay, that sounds like a mouthful, and truly what it comes down to is, okay, maybe so far you haven't had the time to really study a little bit on what the secret is on how to make money, on how to attract all the money you ever want all the time. Okay? And I'm not kidding, I'm talking of experience, both of myself and of other people that I've shared this with and who've been willing to apply it. There's too many people that say, just give me some money, I'll be happy then. If I get $10,000, that's all I want. No, I don't want to give you a fish, I want to teach you how to fish. Yeah? That means also the study of metaphysics. Hey, we're using metaphysical principles here, but instead of going to Tibet and sitting on a mountain and meditating until all the knowledge comes to you, which it could, no, this is going straight in and actually taking the conclusions of science, science being specific application, repeatable over and over again, and getting the result. So if that's you, that you don't really want to study the metaphysics and you don't want to go study the science, you just want to use the conclusions, then that's what he is saying.
Reached. It is expected that the reader will take the fundamental statements upon faith, just as he would take the statements concerning a law of electrical action if that were promulgated by Marconi or Edison. And taking these statements upon faith, that he will prove their truth by acting upon them without fear and without hesitation.
Okay, actually, let me just slip back. Yeah, right there. So, he's asking kind of temporarily blindly trust. Now, he's not going to ask you to blindly trust him throughout the book and throughout the whole experience, but the blind trust is a little bit similar in when you go to a movie. You know the movie is a story, and you're not going to go, well, first I want to see the movie to see if I want to believe it. No, you go into the movie, you live through believing the movie, and then you see whether the movie was worthwhile or not worthwhile, and afterwards you toss out if it was not good, you hold on to it in memory, or sometimes what you've learned from a movie and you apply it and you use it. So he's asking, in the same way, if Marconi or Edison talk to you about electricity, you kind of would trust these guys, right? Mick is adding, okay, 500,000 pounds per year is a 5-year goal. I'm with you, Mick. Let's make it happen. Thank you for being specific, and that's what we need to do. So you're gonna need to kind of trust not me but Wallace Waddle, that you can do it and that he has the knowledge. And what is his proof is you actually will do it and you're gonna see the result. Now, doing it means you're gonna learn to act without fear and without hesitation. Do you know that those are the two main things? Fear and procrastination, or fear and hesitation, are the two reasons why people don't get rich, don't get anything done, not just acquiring wealth. It could be acquiring health, constructing anything, building a relationship, building a family. Let go of fear. Let go. Fears. Make sure your desire is bigger than your fear. How is that? That your vision, your reason. If you want to drive that beautiful, beautiful red Mercedes, even though it may cost $100,000 because it's a Daimler or it's a Maybach, and you want it with a beautiful, beautiful light gray interior, and you want to smell the leather, and you want to be in that quiet cabin that you hear nothing of the outside. You want to hear the 36 speakers, the Nakamichi sound system that is just beautifully surrounding you in sound while you're being massaged in your chair, and you feel the heater that is in your chair, and you know the kids are watching the video games that are in the consoles in the back, or whoever you're driving in the back. Maybe you're sitting in the back and you have a driver up front. See it, feel it, and do it without fear and hesitation. Okay, here we go.
And without hesitation. Every man and woman who does this will certainly get rich.
Do you get this? Now, this is not an idiot talking, okay? This is one of the masters of defining what is needed to become rich, who says every man, he didn't say a few men, every man and woman who does this, who does what he is saying that you need to do, certainly gets rich. Yeah? You're looking for guarantees in programs, well, right there is a guarantee. I can guarantee you that if you take this course and you take it and you really listen to it, you come to understand it and you apply it, it will work for you. And you will not even need a program to produce you the money. The money is going to be produced. You will attract it. But we will do both. We'll provide it phenomenal, like a spaceship. It's an amazing piece of machinery that is coming out. We already got the true Rolls Royce of internet programs in the VIP team, because we already allow passive people to earn, we allow active people to earn extra, we allow people to benefit. I mean, the master key system, what we're putting out, phenomenal stuff. So this stuff works for the science. Yeah, let's continue to listen.
For the science herein applied is an exact science, and failure is impossible.
Okay, did you get this? Failure is impossible. Don't you love statements like that? I mean, he's got balls. I'm not supposed to say that. Maybe I can because I'm on my private television, right? Bleep. You know, did I say balls? I meant courage. You know, sorry, and I sure as heck do not want to insult all the great women that are listening. I mean, that is ballsy. Maybe that's not as bad. That's courageous. Okay, here is a better word. Courageous to say that. If you know your stuff works, failure is impossible.
For the benefit, however, of those who wish to investigate philosophical theories and so secure a logical basis for faith, I will here cite certain authority.
So, if you're saying, well, you know, I need to investigate where you got all this knowledge from, he's going to provide a couple of resources, but you're going to have to do that on your own. He's not going to include that into the rest of the course. He's into proving that you can make all the money you ever want, okay?
The monistic theory of the universe, the theory that one is all and all is one, that one substance manifests itself as the seeming many elements of the material world, is actually of Hindu origin and has been gradually winning its way into the thought of the Western world for 200 years.
So, okay, he's saying, I'm giving you a little bit of the background, but that's not really the class. As a matter of fact, if you want to get into this stuff, then mature and grow up and come and take the master key system. And there you're going to learn not just how to make money, you'll actually learn how to make anything. Bill Gates is a student of the master key system. Walt Disney, student of the master key system. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Henry Ford, student of the master key system. Alexander Bell, student of the master key system. So if you want to then delve in and come to understand how all that stuff works, how your mind works, how your brain works, how your body works, that's the master key system. Now, science of getting rich is just about learning how to make money. I almost want to.
It is the foundation of all needs. Schopenhauer for himself.
Okay.
In the writing of this book, I have sacrificed all other considerations to plainness and simplicity of style, so all might understand.
So, instead of being philosophical and being theoretical and being intelligent, he said, no, I'm going to keep it plain and simple. Don't you love that? That ought to be our motto in VIP. Keep things plain and simple. So, all might understand. You know what? You give that course, The Science of Getting Rich, to one of your children who's 10 or 12 years old, and they will understand it. I would have loved to grown up with that knowledge. You kind of wonder why didn't the schools didn't teach this, or the churches don't teach this. There is some churches that teach this, and the ones that do, they always can show that their people are financially and economically doing much better.
The plan of action laid down herein was deduced from the conclusions of philosophy.
So the plan, the how to do the master key system, the science of getting rich, it's based on the conclusions. You don't get into the philosophy, we use immediately the conclusions.
It has been thoroughly tested and bears the supreme test of practical experiment. It works.
So, what is ultimately the test? You want proof? Is a person who's not rich, he studies the program, applies the principles, the ABCs on what you need to do. When that person turns rich, would you say that's one proof? Now when you get 10 proofs like that, when you get 100 proofs, I want to show to the world that we can get over 100,000 people who have not been rich before and that they now have the proof to be rich. Because I want short little video testimonials on this. Will you be willing to make a nice little video testimonial? I'm not talking studio. I mean I'm talking purely, I call you up on Skype and you say, you know what, Lieven, this stuff works. I was going to say this shit works, but I'm not supposed to say that. It's Sunday. I can say whatever I want to. When your heart is in the right place, you can once in a while cuss and say something a little bit raunchy, but or rambunctious. How is that for a word? That's what the dentist called Django. Yeah, he's a bit of a rambunctious fellow. It works, thoroughly tested. Everyone, I'm living proof that the science of getting rich works. I've proven it over and over and over again, and I'm talking about serious, big money, not just small amounts.
If you wish to know how the conclusions were arrived at, read the writings of the authors mentioned above. And if you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies in actual practice, read this book and do exactly as it tells you to do.
So this is his introduction. He hasn't even gotten to chapter 1 yet, but he says, you know, if you want to know how it all happened, okay, go read these books. But if you want to reap the fruits, meaning know how to get rich, actually make yourself rich, make the money to prove that you're wealthy and rich, then go ahead, do the conclusions, use the conclusions that are made in this book, and do it exactly as he says. You know, I mean, if I'm going to give you a recipe of mayonnaise, are you going to experiment and say, maybe I'll try this ingredient instead? You know, no, you're going to follow the instructions, and that way you'll end up with mayonnaise like you should.
This was the foreword of the science of getting rich. Now let's move on to chapter 1.
So this is how I study. You know, I box with that stuff. To me, you need to anyways, maybe that's the best teaching I can do is share how I read a text, and I need to highlight things in order to know what the heck is important or not. So that's why we use 2 colors in there. We've, by the way, just readapted the master key system, which is much more difficult than this. We've color-coded 63,000 words into 7 colors. The 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 colors of the aura. And we may end up applying that magic to the science of getting rich too. But the science of getting rich is easy. It really is. Okay, here we go. Chapter 1. Are you ready? I mean, you might as well, you wanted to get rich, right? Might as well learn, right? I mean, heck, and then pass on this video and show people when we say that we deliver a product, we don't just talk about it, we actually do it. Yeah, I hope that is our promotion, is proving that we do deliver. When we say, we throw in a PDF or a little electronic book, come on, are you kidding? No, when we want you to understand something, we really want you to understand it. So, chapter 1.
Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. No man can rise to his greatest.
Okay, whatever may be said in praise of poverty. You know, there's some people that seem to elevate poverty. They'll say little cynical things like, money can't make you happy, and money doesn't buy happiness. You know what? Poverty doesn't buy happiness either, does it? Or a worse one, money is the root of all evil. First of all, it doesn't say that. Oh, it says it in the Bible. No, it doesn't say that in the Bible. In the Bible it says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you really want to know what it is saying, you need to go back to the original Bible where it explains that it isn't just talking about one kind of love. There is like 14, 15 different kinds of love: romantic love, brotherly love, erotic love, but then there is also addictive love, and that is the one they're referring to. So the addiction to or addictive love of money, that is the root of all evil, which ultimately leads to greed and not being able to be satisfied anymore and feeling like you need to steal it from others. There I agree, but otherwise, so whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible, even if you kind of approach it philosophically, but we're being practical, all right? It's not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless you're rich. Would you agree with that? I mean, have you bumped into this, that you kind of would like to complete your life, but either, you know, the healthcare, that natural healthcare, it's too expensive, or you want to see certain countries in the world, but you cannot afford to, you know, you need to be rich to be able to do great things. No man can rise to his greatest potential height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money.
Possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money.
Or like my good friend Julius Jack from Japan says, if you want to help a lot of poor people, you'd better be rich.